Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to another club call-in show. Absolutely love doing these. We are brought to you by Sky Bet. And remember, if you want to get involved, the link for our Discord is in the description below. Join the Discord and you could be joining the call-in shows. Been enjoying these, boys. What you reckon?
Always good fun. Yep. Always good fun. Very interested to see what's going to be put before us today.
Yes. And that call last week, by the way, with you talking about Kante.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It might be my favourite moment ever.
It was funny.
He was the best.
Everyone understood what I was saying.
He was the best player in the world.
I got vindication.
I don't think you did
in the YouTube comments.
No,
check the comments.
No, but you know what that is, mate. You can't be
Don't
looking for YouTube comments for vindication.
Yeah, of course I do.
No, but
that's my entire career,
mate. That's
my
one-way road to disaster.
Yeah.
That's a one-way road to mental health problems.
Also, generally speaking, all YouTube comments it's people trying to prove that they see the game on a different plane to everyone else.
Yeah, like me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. What was it? He was the best player to have ever played the game, but he wasn't good enough to make a Premier League.
He's in his all-time football 11, but not his Premier League, La Liga 11.
Amazing. Truly amazing. Let's see what's in store for us today. Let's go to the phone lines. Jack, sir, how are you?
Hello, Jack.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing, mate?
I'm good.
Another Man United fan as well?
Yeah, of course.
Lovely to hear. What do you want to discuss today, bro?
Well, it's more of an opinion, so I'll see what you think of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Invincibles are a top 5 Premier League team of all time.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
I don't think it's an extreme shout. I think most people will disagree with you, Jack, but I don't think it's an extreme shout because when you actually drill down into it, if you're only going to do top 5 Premier League sides of all time, there is a chance that you leave out the Invincibles.
Okay, let's just start at this point. And Jack, feel free to chip in whenever you want. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
But are they even the best Arsenal Premier League winning side?
Possible.
I don't feel they are.
Well, they're not in as much as they didn't win. So the team of '98 won the double.
Yeah.
The Invincibles won only the league. So it's simply to quantify, are they the best Arsenal team? They didn't win as much as the 2 Arsenal teams under Wenger that won the double.
And from gut feeling, I don't feel so. What do you reckon, Jack, to that?
Yeah, no, I agree with Rory. I think the 98 team, and maybe the 02 team is better. And I'd have probably 4 Pep Guardiola Man City sides better. I think the 99 United team is better. I think the 08 United team is better. I think the 04-05 Chelsea team is better. I think you could argue the Klopp Liverpool side's better.
Could you argue, just to ask, you know how we said that it's not the best Arsenal team? Do you have to have won the league to be considered the best team? So, for example, the Liverpool team that didn't win the league, the Liverpool team that managed to accrue 97 points and didn't win the league, is it fair to bring them up? Is it?
Well, they eventually did win a league, didn't they? So that team did win a league title.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can't put them in discussion unless they've won the league, I think.
Okay, I think that's fair. I was just checking the parameters. Yeah. I think that's fair. I don't think it's extreme. I think a lot of Arsenal fans will disagree with you. And the reason why, one of the reasons why, even if it's not the best, it's the best because of what it did. You know, like, look, the Leicester City team is most certainly not the best, but you can argue that it's the best on a very particular metric because what they did was like the most mind-blowingly brilliant. What the Arsenal team did, however impressive you may think it is, however you feel like it compares to other teams, nobody else has done it. And therefore, it stands alone, doesn't it?
Yeah, individual players. I mean, you're talking Ashley Cole, you're talking
it's
Sol
world-class
Campbell,
players per position.
Henry,
Yeah. It's world-class.
There are some Premier winning sides that aren't the greatest of all time in terms of the individual players, like, slightly lesser so. But I think there's 2 City sides for sure. The treble winning side, Centurion winning side. I think the Liverpool winning side is better at 99 points.
I think you go the 2 treble winning teams, United and City. The double winning team for United, 08.
Yeah.
Chelsea's Mourinho side.
Do you think that's definitely better than the Invincibles?
I personally think so.
15 goals conceded.
No, I love that side. Is it better than the Invincibles? That's a tight one.
Do you know the other Chelsea one that's worth talking about? That's Carlo Ancelotti's team. Scored over 100 goals, won the double. Yeah, what do you think to that, Jack?
What was you going to say then, Jack?
Yeah, no, I think the Chelsea team next year, they only lost 1 game to City. And they got 95 points. No, I think 15 goals conceded is arguably harder than the Invincibles, to be honest.
And it did only lose 1 game.
No, it's a special side.
Yeah, 1 game, yeah.
And then I'd put the Arsenal team, the other Arsenal team ahead of them. The double-winning Arsenal team.
Yeah. And
so
then
what
about any other teams? Like, just to talk about it, are there any other teams that you could argue? So the Blackburn Rovers side wasn't better, was it?
Nah.
The Leicester City
No.
side obviously wasn't better.
The story's better.
What
but
about
it's
what?
not better.
Just in terms of comparing it, let's do it now. Jack, how would you compare this current Liverpool side with, say, the Invincible team? The Invincibles were better than this current Liverpool side, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. This Liverpool side, I don't think it's that good. I think it's just been Salah, to be honest. I think the Liverpool side a few years ago you could argue, but not this one.
I agree.
not
Yeah,
this one.
I agree.
I think
Klopp's
you're probably
Liverpool
right.
sides are unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
I've never seen anything
they
like
got
it.
99 points.
I've never seen anything like it. The intensity.
Thank you so much for your call, mate.
Thanks. See ya.
Cheers,
Bye.
Jack. Good luck, mate. Thank you.
That is going to get the people going, that, especially Arsenal fans. But I don't think it's mental what we just said.
I think they're top 5. I think you could say very comfortably they're top
We
5.
literally just worked out that they're not.
But in and around 5th or 6th, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
to
no,
say.
no. We were putting teams forward. I
So,
don't
like,
think we
no,
did
no,
a
so-
definitive
We didn't do a
list.
definitive list.
Who's the 2 treble winning teams? Definite.
The
United
Centurions.
07, 08. Definite.
Centurions have to be in their separate side.
Centurions. Arsenal's double winning team. Chelsea's 05 team.
But could you not argue that simply by being what they are, simply by being, the moniker,
Having the
so
title.
you've got the Centurions.
Like being the lineal champion.
Yes,
Yeah.
simply by being that, do they not qualify for this? Like, do you know the team that would be in my top 5? And I know they're not in it. I know they're not the best top 5. I know that every team, every previous winner would probably beat them in a one-off match. But I don't think you can do a top 5 Premier League teams of all time and not put Leicester in it just because of what they did. It was so mind-blowing. It
The
was
story, the quality's not there because they know
No,
got
no,
relegated
no,
the
they're
following
not
season.
good. They're not
But it's
good.
the best, isn't it?
Well,
It's not
we're
the most
talking about-
famous.
But it's the Leicester thing was the best achievement.
Yeah, yeah,
And
the
therefore,
best
simply
story.
by being the best achievement,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes my top 5 teams.
Oh, it's better than the Invincibles as a story, no question.
Oh, it's better than anything.
No
as a story.
question.
It's better than anything.
But then you
Yeah,
also
yeah,
look
of
at
course,
all
yeah.
those other teams. And again, the reason it's not disrespectful what we're doing is because we're comparing them to other great sides. So it's like when we compare like Henry to Rooney and people get upset if you say one or the other. We're comparing 2 greats. But again, with these sides, like all the other teams we mentioned did really well in Europe as well.
But can you believe
At some
that year?
point.
The year that we're talking about here, the Arsenal Invincible year. That was the year to win the Champions. Like, it's amazing. It's never easy to win the Champions League, is it? It's never ever seen as being easy. That was the one year where it was.
Porto.
It was Porto versus Monaco in the Champions League final.
We should have. Scholes was on side.
It was. I mean, and Arsenal got Chelsea in the quarters. That should have been their time to win it.
100%.
We ended up getting Monaco. Like we would have beaten them. Fernando Morientes did us.
Evra.
Did us a mischief. But it was actually Claudio Ranieri who totally fucked it up. He played Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank right back. Genuinely put Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank
That's
right back.
crazy.
We played Monaco in the semi-final of the
Who
Champions
was
League.
injured? Why was he playing right back?
Mate, they used to call him. It changed a bit, but at Chelsea they used to call him the Tinker Man.
Yeah,
because he was
yeah.
constantly. There was
So
no
there's no
rhyme or reason. No
major
rhyme or
injury.
reason for it. No rhyme
That's
or reason.
crazy.
He just put.
Who should have been playing there then?
I think he wanted Hassel. I think who would it have been that year? Would it have been Albert Ferrer? Would it have been Albert Ferrer that team? I think it might have been Ferrer. We had a Spanish right back called Albert Ferrer. We used to sing Rupert the Bear's song for him. Everyone knows his name. But yeah, it is for Arsenal and for Arsenal fans and for this team's legacy. It feels like it was a tap in that Champions League for them.
Yeah.
And they managed to.
They
They got
win a
the
League Cup,
draw.
Royce.
They got the draw at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
They got the draw at Stamford
Didn't
Bridge.
even win
and-
the League Cup with it. The Centurions won the
Borough,
League
wasn't
Cup and
Yeah.
the Premier League.
Yeah, very interesting anyway. But I think that if I did my teams, I think that the Invincibles would be in
Also,
mine.
they weren't invincible.
They were invincible in the league.
They weren't invincible.
They'd be top 5 for me. I think we'd be.
They're in my
harsh.
top 5.
We're on the
Mighty
wind up,
Borough
aren't
beat
we?
No, they're in my top
Are they
5.
better than 98? I don't know about that. I'm not sure about
Won the
Henry's in
double,
that
though.
side. Henry wasn't in 98.
No, but Bergkamp was.
But Henry, but Bergkamp was in 04.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it was a good side.
It's a tough debate. It's
The
tough.
98 side was over, Mars.
I'd
It was a
rather
good
win the
side.
double as well. So
I'd rather win the double.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I'd always rather win the double. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's speak to Connor, who's a Dundalk fan. How are you, Connor? Welcome to the show.
Well, lads, what's the crack?
Yes.
Yeah,
mate.
good. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's nice and sunny over here in Ireland.
Ah,
nice.
very nice, very nice. What have you called up to say, Connor?
Yeah, look, I think my logic is quite sound, but maybe I'm wrong in this. If you spend more than 10 minutes on social media today, you'll find Liverpool players in some of the greatest conversations you'll ever find, like Salah being compared to Ronaldo. Someone had the bravery to suggest Andy Robertson and Andy Cole or Ashley Cole, and then simultaneously suggest Klopp is in conversations with the greatest managers ever. I mean, I don't think those two can really mix when he's got one title with them.
I agree.
I think that you've said. I think I so far agree with every word that you've just said.
I agree. I totally agree. It's
And it was
funny,
the COVID Cup as well.
because like when Buvey was making the point he made on Saturday Social about Ronaldo and stuff, then people go, "Oh, you can't say about what the teams win because Salah was playing with this team and Ronaldo was playing with better players." And then you go, "Hold on a minute," but you like said Van Dijk's the greatest centre back and Robertson's the best left back and Trent's the best
Henderson.
right back and all these different. Alisson's the best goalkeeper. So all of a sudden it isn't matching up. I totally agree with you.
Connor, why do people do this?
I don't know. I've even noticed among neutrals, they seem to have a soft spot for Liverpool. Maybe that's all I can think of. Are they?
I think
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
you know, when you don't win stuff a lot. So, you know, people will hate City because they've always won. Liverpool have won when it was COVID and now they're about to win one. But they haven't really got that thing where they've won loads of league titles and everyone's fed up of them.
Yeah, I
know,
guess there's the
You know,
underdog.
that bit of thing, like,
story.
where everyone just goes, "Oh, I'm sick of
Yeah,
them
they
winning
seen as
stuff."
being an underdog, Connor. Is that it?
Yeah, I think there seems being an underdog, but then that's again quite contradictory because you then give them all the praise in the world and say they're the best team ever and the best manager ever. I struggle to see how that's an underdog.
Yeah, it's interesting. So ultimately, what you're suggesting is that Klopp, as a manager, and then the Liverpool players in the Klopp era, have potentially been drastically overrated. Where do you rate Klopp in the pantheon of great Premier League managers?
Well, just probably outside the classic of Wenger, Mourinho, Pep, and Ferguson, I guess. But
So fifth.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I think that's
Unless
fair.
What about Ranieri?
He's the best of the rest, isn't it?
Ranieri?
Yeah.
He's the best of the rest.
Mancini?
Klopp's better than Ranieri and Mancini.
Just thrown out there.
Is he? Yeah, I think he's
Harry Redknapp?
definitely top 5, isn't he? Overall, do we overrate Jurgen Klopp?
We
as-
overrate Salah. I think we fairly rate Van Dijk. He is one of the best centre-backs of all time in the Premier League. He might be third or fourth already. I think we overrate Salah.
To what extent?
I think we fairly rate Alisson. I think there's an argument he's the best keeper I've ever seen in the Premier League. There's an argument.
Can I play a game with you to just to find out how much we overrate Mohamed Salah? Is Mohamed Salah better in the Premier League legacy than? That's the game. And then we say players. Does Mohamed Salah have a better Premier League legacy than Cristiano Ronaldo?
No.
Does he have a better Premier League legacy than Riyad Mahrez?
No. 5 titles, Adam. 5 titles. 5 titles.
Leicester don't win the league with Salah on that right side. So I'd say Mahrez.
Does he have who has a better Premier League legacy? Raheem Sterling or Mohamed Salah?
Sterling.
Mo Salah.
Let's do some Chelsea players
You know what?
that we
Mo
don't
Salah-
think about. Damien
Hold on,
Duff
hold
won
on.
2 titles.
One
Damien
sec.
Duff.
Mo Salah helped Liverpool win their first Premier League title.
Yeah, so did
Premier
other
League
players.
title. I
So did
know
other
football
players.
didn't start in '92, but
So did
that's a
other players.
big deal.
What about Mane?
Yeah, you're right, but you never asked me about
We
Mane.
overrate this guy, man, and it's because it's recency bias.
Let Rory go again.
Give me some Chelsea players.
Leroy
that
Sané versus Mohamed Salah.
Salah.
He left too early, but I'd always back Sane, always. But Salah is slightly better.
Arjen Robben,
Yeah,
Mohamed
exactly.
Salah.
Robin, give me some of these. Some of the
Arjen
Chelsea
Robben,
players.
Arjen Robben, Mohamed
Joe
Salah.
Cole.
Joe Cole, Mohamed
Cool.
Salah.
Joe Cole. Premier League
Salah.
legacy. Legacy.
Joe Cole, Mohamed Salah.
I like watching Joe Cole more, but Salah.
Give me someone for Blackburn, guys. He's won one.
Jason
COVID
Wilcox.
Cup.
Jason Wilcox, Mohamed Salah.
Flitcroft.
He won a COVID Cup, and we bang on about it like it was some Hollywood movie, like it was Godfather. Like
But there is a-
Godfather
there is-
1.
there is
Nah,
also-
this is Godfather 3, mate.
There's a-
Seriously, there's no one watching it.
Not Godfather 3. It's
It
not
is.
that good.
No one's watching it.
No, seriously, it was the COVID Cup. There wasn't a single fan in the stadium. We're meant to say it's the best season of all time. Have a day off.
Yeah, have a day off.
Come on.
Shaw Wright Phillips, Mohamed Salah.
He won 2 titles with you? Was it 2?
Yeah.
It's
no,
Mohamed
1.
Salah.
He won 1 with you.
Definitely won one.
The second season, you won the
Yeah.
title with Kane.
He did what?
Oh, you're such a child, aren't you?
Let's go back to the phone lines on that happy note.
Child.
Hanif, rescue us from Adam's
That is
infancy.
outrageous. That's terrible chat.
Hanif, sir, please talk to me about football immediately.
Okay.
Fucking hell, man.
Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yes,
Thank
Hanif, how
you
you
so
doing,
much.
brother?
Great to have you on, sir.
Okay, so I've come to pose this question to you guys. Liverpool will have a massive drop-off next season, and I think that there's a potential for them to not even qualify for Champions League.
Spot on.
Tell me why, Hanif.
All right. So, Liverpool are losing Trent Alexander-Arnold and potentially Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah add up to 52 out of 69 of Liverpool's goal tally in the Premier League this season. 75%.
Wow.
That's a big number.
Well,
right?
that's huge.
That's a majority
great
number.
research
That's
as well.
over 50%.
But we do know
And Virgil
they
van Dijk
replaced
is the
them.
best centre-back in the Premier League for the last 10 years or so.
Hanif, just so you know, when you pose that theory, Buvey in the studio was doing a celebration. I think he completely agrees with everything that you suggested there. What do you reckon, Booth?
Well, if City were decent, would they compete in the same way? It's harsh for me to say because they've actually done it this season. You've got to say fair play. What about Arsenal? What if they were decent? What if Saka didn't get injured? What about Chelsea's billions, Man United's billions? Spurs have spent loads of money. All the big six haven't competed. Nottingham Forest are in the top three.
But Buvey, when they were competing...
Yeah, and they deserve what they deserve to win the title. I'm not saying it's an accident. I'm not saying it's a fluke. They've been fantastic.
No, but when Liverpool needed to be brilliant...
Underwhelming.
You know when they needed to be brilliant? At the beginning of the season, when everybody thought everybody was going to compete. Yeah, that's when Liverpool blew everyone away.
Yeah.
So they've gone off the boil when everyone else has gone off the boil.
What happened in the cup final?
No, they were well beaten in the cup final. Yeah.
What happened against PSG?
They were well beaten against PSG. No,
they do only have one.
If they lose Van Dijk, they're in a world of pain.
Sorry, Hanif, what was that?
But they do only have one loss in the Premier League this season, which is an impressive feat in and of itself, 29 games in.
But they're not playing anyone. I said this ages ago. They've won the Premier League. They've been fantastic. They're not a generational side. They're going to get probably 90, 91 points. It doesn't put them in the top 5 sides ever to win the Premier League. Probably not even top 3 Premier League title winning sides in the last couple of years. So let's see what happens next season when City are clicking. Maybe Man United can get their stuff together. Maybe Chelsea can have a go.
It's an interesting theory that you've brought to the show, Hanif. So thank you for doing that. It's an idea, a concept that I don't really agree with.
Because if you do lose it's on the. They have to lose these 3 players in this theory, right? So if they lose Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk,
but surely if that happens,
half of your defense and a third of your attack.
But Hanif, do you not think that even if your theory is correct, Alexander-Arnold goes to Real Madrid, which is looking very likely, and let's pretend that everybody leaves, then everybody that can leave leaves.
Alisson,
do you not feel like they then go and spend a huge amount of money? They didn't spend anything last year. They go and they sign Isak for 110 million.
Is Isak going to want to go there? Sorry to cut you off, but without those players there.
Well, how often have Liverpool gone out and said, "All right, we're going to give you the manager 100 mil," especially since the players I've listed are all leaving on a free.
They've done it. They've done it at points, though, Hanif. At various points, they have done it. So, for example, when they needed a goalkeeper, they went and they signed a best-in-class goalkeeper. When they needed a centre-half, they went and they signed a best-in-class centre-half. So they are ready to spend the money when it is most necessary. Do you think they do that again now?
They could, especially when you're losing generational talent like Mohamed Salah. You have to. But if Liverpool Football Club don't put in 200-300 million to replace the best centre-back in the league, the best attacker in the league, and arguably one of the best right-backs in the league, it's a big loss. It's a big hit. And it's also pressure on Slot to then recruit smart and to recruit players that will fit into his system, to his style of play, and that can bring that quality, because they're losing 75% of their goals.
We don't talk about the Liverpool squad in full depth, in my opinion, as well, because there's a few other players on the outskirts that have got a contract. Nunez will be leaving. That's another player they're probably going to have to replace in terms of a squad player. I don't think Jota's cut out. Andy Robertson's legs have gone. They need a new left back linked with Keke. So it's not just 3 players they're replacing. Alisson was linked to Saudi Arabia. Could be 6 players. Seriously, if they want to compete.
Okay, right. Cards on the table. Hanif.
New goalkeepers coming in.
Hanif, where do Liverpool finish next season? What position? I need numbers. Where do Liverpool finish next season?
It's hard because a lot of the Premier League teams right now aren't performing. It's a big what if on other teams. If Forest continue how they're playing, if Chelsea do a bit better.
Yeah, I know all the ifs. I know the ifs. Yeah. You're the one who's come on and gone, Liverpool won't get top 4.
I think they'll finish 5th or 6th. I think
they're more likely to finish 5th and win back-to-back Premier League titles.
Buvey, cards on the table. Not more likely.
They definitely won't win.
They won't win back-to-back titles. They've never done it in their lives. Have they? Have they ever won? Have Liverpool ever retained a Premier League title in your lifetime, Royce? Even Division 1?
They've retained a title, but not a Premier
in your
League.
lifetime?
No.
In Division 1? Any year of
football?
They have. In my lifetime, they have. Yeah, they have.
Fine. In the
They
Premier
beat
League, they've
and
never
they
done
beat
it.
Everton in the cup final as well the same season, which is quite impressive. So, Buvey, Hanif is saying 5th or 6th. Buvey, where do Liverpool
Fifth.
finish next season? 5th, do you say?
Yeah.
Adam, where do Liverpool finish next season?
Without Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk.
Answer the question, please, sir.
Is it without them?
Yeah,
or
it's
without-
that. That's what I was doing
where do
wrong.
they finish next season?
Without those 3 players, 5th.
I think they finish at the very lowest, 2nd.
Without those players?
They'll replace
Come on.
everything
Bro,
you've seen about FSG.
Who with?
No, you think Alexander Isak's
champions.
going to go?
Specifics then.
Yeah, I'll go Liverpool when they've just sold Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent.
Who comes
Not
in
a
then?
chance.
Alexander Isak.
Not a
They
chance.
sell Darwin Núñez.
Isak
They make a
don't-
lot
why
of
would
money
he
on
let him
Núñez.
side
Is
with-
that
why
going
would
to
he
leave
leave
Newcastle
sideways?
for another English club as well, by the way?
Why
He
not?
doesn't
Go
leave.
to Liverpool.
He doesn't leave.
They don't sell him to Liverpool.
He doesn't leave.
Maybe they don't sell him to
He
Liverpool.
deserves
but
a bigger
they'd struggle.
project.
They'd struggle. A bigger project than Liverpool.
Yeah, Man City.
Also,
That's a bigger project.
is Jurgen Klopp the guy to attract these players?
Hanif, you've caused murders in the studio, mate.
It's murder when Hanif calls.
Thank you very much for getting in touch, though. And please give us a bell back in the next couple of weeks.
Nice one,
Yeah, no
Hanif.
worries.
Cheers,
Thanks
mate.
for having me on.
Mate, it's a pleasure.
Thank you,
It's an
mate.
honour to have you. Thank you so much.
Up next, we've got Jamie, the Arsenal fan, who wants to speak to us. And I think Buvey might like this call.
Hi, lads.
You all right, mate? How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, fantastic.
Where are you calling from, Jamie?
I'm calling from Oslo in Norway.
Ah,
I've been there.
very
It's
nice.
fantastic. So expensive.
Lovely.
So expensive. A beer there's about 10 quid.
Bodo Glimt and all that.
Jamie, what you want to discuss anyway?
No, I've had this discussion plenty of times, but I can't fathom why people seem to underestimate Kevin De Bruyne. I think probably in my lifetime, he's one of the greatest midfielders the Premier League has ever seen. But somehow, every time I discuss him, they always keep on going like, no, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, all those lads.
Yeah, De
Yeah.
Bruyne technically, I think you can argue. You know, when you say most complete, I feel like there is a very strict parameter where that's true, but I don't think it takes into account all of the attributes that you need for a midfielder. I think you could argue, whether I believe this or not isn't the point, but you could argue that technically, vision on the ball, that sort of metric, the metric that would make him directly comparable to the likes of Christian Eriksen, the likes of Cesc Fabregas, the vision and the craft on the ball, you could argue De Bruyne, but there are so many more responsibilities for a midfielder in my book that Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have to the extent of some of the other players that you just mentioned.
Yeah, I can understand. Of course, he won't be as defensively minded as like Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira stuff. But I think for an offensive midfielder, he's great on the ball. He's great defensively. He does the work rate. Of course, it's not the same anymore. But up through the years, I can't see anything wrong with his play.
No, there isn't anything wrong with. No, you're absolutely right. There isn't anything wrong with his play. But he is one of the best midfielders who have ever played the game. That's undoubtedly true. Buvey, the point that I raised there, where I sort of highlighted his brilliance, but also highlighted his flaws. How much truth do you think there is in that?
No, you're spot on. He's had to play in a 3. He had Fernandinho behind him, Rodri behind him. Vieira had to do things, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, with one man behind him in a two-man in midfield. It's harder. So, but I think technically speaking, De Bruyne's as good as anything the Premier
I
League's
think
ever seen.
in a 4-4-2 era, De Bruyne's a winger.
Yeah, he's a right midfielder cutting in. Yeah, I think his issue as well, when we talk about football, we love talking about the big stories, the big moments. I think Man City as a club gets a little bit underrated for whatever reason. And also, I think the Champions League finals, getting injured in 2 finals, it's unlucky. It's not his fault. But we don't have those moments in the same way.
And
Even though I'd argue
he
against Real Madrid,
he personally doesn't have them, does he?
No,
Like,
but
you know when you think about like,
Rodri has that
when you
moment,
think
yeah.
about like, I don't know, iconic Roy Keane moments, you think immediately of Turin, really. You think I do anyway, Adam? Is that right?
Yeah, Turin, the Arsenal games, yeah, but
Yeah.
Turin's the main
Yeah,
one.
But what about final
Turin
for Roy
and Gary
Keane?
Neville, right? They're the Turin and the Gary Neville argument with Vieira would be like Roy Keane. When I think about basically any midfielder that he would be compared to, I kind of have a vision of something. With De Bruyne, it's overall brilliance, but I don't think he's got that defining
No,
game,
but then
that
you look at
defining
his
moment.
record in knockout Champions League football. He's one of the highest scorers ever from a Premier League club in scoring goals in the knockout stage of the Champions League. Big goals against Real Madrid. he scored an equalising goal at the Bernabeu. City went on to beat Real Madrid 4-0 at the Etihad. That was down to De Bruyne.
Yeah.
It was all down to De Bruyne. But I get what you're saying. There isn't that Lampard moment against Barcelona, maybe, or whatever. Like, I do agree with you. But sometimes it's not his fault. It's
Lampard's got loads of it. And obviously, because I'm a Chelsea fan, I know it. But, like, Lampard scored for Chelsea in a Champions League final.
Yeah.
Lampard scored a penalty when we ultimately won. Lampard scored with his weaker foot doing his father's celebration at Wembley when we won the FA Cup. His goal was the goal that won us the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's more about
have
bad
those
luck for De Bruyne.
moments with De Bruyne.
It's more about bad luck, I'd say. Right, we're going into the voice notes. Let's hear the first one.
Hey guys, big fan, Zach in Nashville here. Had this discussion with my friends the other day, but since Sir Alex Ferguson left, who has been the strongest English side aside from Manchester City? So we had a toss-up between Chelsea and Liverpool, and I'm a Liverpool fan. I think Chelsea has a good claim, more Premier Leagues, similar Champions Leagues, but some of those Liverpool sides that finished second have a good shout to be made. So just curious on your thoughts, who you'd take as a stronger English side behind City since Ferguson left. Thanks.
It definitely feels like Liverpool, but I think if you looked into the numbers,
Chelsea.
I think if you looked into the trophy numbers, it would be Chelsea.
It's 100% Chelsea. Until very recently, Chelsea.
Is it 200% Chelsea? Is that channel you used to be at?
No, do you remember that guy who dropped you from the first team of football? What was that guy's name?
Well, why are you saying he replaced you on your own Chelsea channel, didn't he? With Sophie. When it's Sophie. She was fantastic.
Mate, the answer here is Chelsea.
It is Chelsea, isn't it?
Until very recently,
Chelsea.
Chelsea were the most successful side post Manchester United, post Fergie. Yeah. Aside from Manchester United, Chelsea were, until Man City recently, the most successful side in the Premier League.
Titles since Fergie left. Since won Conte.
Since Fergie left, what year?
2012.
2013.
2013. So we won 15.
You've won 2
17.
titles. Yeah.
And
a
a European Cup.
And a Europa League.
And it is. And probably a couple of FA Cups as well, right?
And
FA Cup with Conte.
Got beaten a lot in the finals of the FA Cups.
Beat us,
we beat Man
Conte.
United.
I'd say the Liverpool
Eden
side's
Hazard,
better, but
no, Chelsea have
less
won that.
successful.
Chelsea's definitely won by a distance. Good call from Nashville, Tennessee. I want to go there. Buvey, whatever accent is on this.
No, I'm not doing any accents
have to
for you.
do
No.
If it's a Nashville
you
accent,
getting angry a minute
you need
ago.
to do it back.
No. No, you used up your credit with me.
You
used up your credit with me, Royce.
Right, lads. My name's Sean. I support Rangers.
I'm not doing that.
I know Rory's opinion on this, but how long would you think it would take the old firm to break into the top 6 in the Premier League with Premier League money?
You're a trained actor.
You're
a trained actor with the BAFTA Society.
No, the challenge was that you have to answer the accent.
Because they'll slag me off. I'll
won't.
never be able to step
They'll
foot
love it.
north
Just
of
do-
Hadrian's Wall.
Just do
I'm not allowed.
one sentence.
No, I can't.
You
I'll
have to.
get
That was the
called
challenge.
racist or something.
No, you
Seriously, it'd be so bad.
You
My
won't.
accents are so bad. But the question is, when will they
2
break
or 3
in?
seasons.
It'd take them 25 years to break
No,
into
not
the
a
top.
fucking chance.
It would.
They'd have no
really
PSR issues because of the fact that they
Their
make
league's the Vanarama League, lads.
Nah,
Their
they make
league's the
huge amounts
Vanarama
of
League.
money.
But they already
Fan
compete.
bases are big.
They already compete. They already do quite well in Europe.
Do they?
Yeah, well, fairly recently, Rangers were in a final, weren't they? Fairly recently, they
Rangers
were in
are
a semi.
still
They
in
definitely
Europe. Are
do
you
it
in
in
Europe?
10 years. 10 years.
It's not 10 years, boo.
I don't
They
think
play in the
so, yeah.
Vanarama League.
Because the sponsorship money
Scott
they
Sinclair
get,
is the
TV
greatest
money,
player they've ever had in
their
that league.
fan
Scott
bases-
Sinclair.
That's not true.
It is.
That's
Scott
definitely not
Sinclair
true.
is the greatest
It's
player
not,
in the
man.
history
Mate,
of
do you
Celtic.
remember just when you were very
There's
young?
only 2 clubs in England bigger than both of them. You know?
Glasgow Rangers had an amazing team, like comparable to anything. Like it was Gaza, Laudrup, McCoy,
Yeah,
Haitley.
fantastic. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah,
I'm
De
talking
Boer.
right
Wasn't
now.
De Boer there?
No, the
Gattuso.
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. isn't it?
Gattuso
Van
was there.
Bronckhorst. I think De Boer was
Well,
there.
we're not
One of
sitting.
them
We're
might
not
have
sitting in 1992.
De Boer played for Rangers.
You know, there's
I'm talking
only
right now.
two
I'm talking right
clubs
now.
in England bigger than
Who's
them.
the best
innit?
player in Scotland right now?
You know, there's only two
Who's the best
clubs
player?
in England bigger than them. Innit?
Who's the keeper for Rangers?
You know, there's only 2 clubs
English
bigger than them.
keeper.
Innit? Jack
I
Butler.
don't care. Yeah, it's a museum. It's a museum. Oh, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Jack Butland's the best player in Scotland for the last 10 years. Come on,
That's
lads,
not
have
true,
a day
mate.
off.
That's not true.
I think
You've had a mare
It
here.
a
is.
couple of years.
Yeah, it is.
A couple of years.
I agree
It's
with
the
that.
Vanarama League.
I'll go 5 years.
Look at Brighton, bro.
So
Look
what?
at Brentford.
So what? Right now they're playing the Vanarama League. That's it.
You're wrong.
That's it.
Next one.
We'd finally have some good away days as well.
What's up, guys? This is Rob from the United States. I'm a City fan, and in my opinion, if Van Dijk had spent his career at either City, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich instead of Liverpool, he would have guaranteed and cemented himself as the best center back of all time.
You've got to do the
I'm not
from the
doing
United
it.
States.
I won't be
Rob from
allowed
the
in.
United States.
I won't be able to get a visa, an ESTA.
Yes, you will.
No, I wouldn't be allowed.
Just do your American
I
accent
get
back.
kicked out.
Go on, man.
Pathetic.
No, I'm not doing no accent.
Why are
man.
you so scared of everything?
I'm not scared of nothing.
Do you think Van Dijk would be the greatest of what is it?
Greatest of all
If he
time.
played for
For
Bayern
God's
Munich or
sake,
Real
he's playing
Madrid?
for the Dutch. They can't win nothing. So it's not a Dutch.
He's not even the greatest Dutch centre half, is he?
No,
He's not better than Koeman.
He's not better than Ronald Koeman.
He's better than Stam. You keep going on about
He's
Stam.
not better than Jaap
I
Stam.
don't know
Not
if
better
you-
than Stam.
He's not. He's never
better
ever
than
been
Jaap
better.
Stam.
Jaap
Not
Stam.
better than Ronald Koeman
better than
either, but he's
Jaap
not
He's not
better
better
than
than Jaap Stam.
He's better than
He's
Stam.
not better than Jaap Stam, bro. You need to stop it.
He is.
I don't
Stop
think.
it.
I don't think it's totally irrelevant where he played. He would never go down. Virgil van Dijk is not the best
He's
centre half.
so
of all
overrated,
time.
isn't he, Van Dijk? I mean, he's a great centre back for the last 10 years, but he's so overrated.
Do it in an American accent,
I'm
man.
not doing
Mate,
nothing.
what's wrong with you? Why won't you do what the challenge is
Nah.
set?
I speak in my own accent. You do it. You're BAFTA trained.
No, let's hear.
You're BAFTA trained.
I
You've been
don't
in
know
everything.
BAFTA
Doctor
trained.
Mate, I'm
Who,
not BAFTA
EastEnders. You've been in Hollyoaks, Emmerdale.
He
Casualty.
appeared as himself though with them, just speaking like Rory. And that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got
The
it.
bill.
Guys, don't forget we are brought to you by Skybet. The Discord link is in the description below to get involved. And the audio of this will be available every Sunday. The videos will still be out on Thursday. Thank you so much to all our callers and those that got their voice notes in. See you soon.